Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Hello.
It's been a long time since we filmed a video, and you are actually seeing a new face. My husband Donald.
How you doing?
He's here with me tonight, and a lot has happened since our last video. One big important thing, COVID-19, yeah. Big deal.
COVID has happened.
COVID has happened. A freaking pandemic has happened.
Much to people's dismay.
Yeah, it is happening currently still. So it's just been a mess. So last time I filmed, I think it was in February, maybe beginning of February. I think somewhere around, maybe even January. I'm not real sure. We have kind of decided to rebrand my channel. I was kind of not really sure what I wanted to do with my channel. You saw some, hauls that we were doing, weight loss stuff. I was, did a dog oatmeal bath for the dogs. Cooking stuff. And I didn't really know what my niche was going to be. And so now, our lives have changed tremendously. And you'll hear Livy squeaking her toy in the background. But besides that, our lives have changed a lot. We are now parents. And no, I did not give birth in 6 months.
Nope, I noticed.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Basically, we became foster parents, which I guess we were licensed. We've been licensed since October of 2019. So it's not like it's something totally new, but we finally got a placement. And if you know me, you know, of course, we got a placement 2 weeks before a global pandemic.
Right before the COVID.
I mean, we were licensed for 6 months and nobody, we said yes to placements, no calls back. And as soon as this happens, here we go. Give them 2 kids.
Well, you guys will be great. Don't worry about it. If you have any problems, call us. Oh, by the way, here's a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Here's 2 weeks of school for the kids. Now you got them all day, forever.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
For the rest of eternity. So it's been a little crazy around here. So we have had our kids now for going on almost 7 months. And it's been a roller coaster. So I think what we have decided to do is just make a YouTube channel about our fostering journey. It's already been a crazy roller coaster, and we're just getting started. This is our first placement, and whoa, has it been crazy.
It was a whole lot at one time.
It was.
A whole lot at one time.
It was. And, one of the biggest things I want to do with this channel and my platform, I guess you could say, is I want to bring awareness to foster care and how many kids are in need of homes. And, especially in the state of Kentucky, and I know back home with like the opioid epidemic.
It's a lot more than you think.
It's bad. Because one of the biggest reasons that kids come into care is neglect, and one of the biggest things that leads to neglect is drug use. So it all plays hand in hand. And, we both have been affected by drugs in our families. It's unfortunate, but it's the way of life nowadays, it seems.
It's going to happen a lot more to a lot of families.
Yeah, and so more foster parents are needed now more than ever.
These children are a byproduct of addiction.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what these kids go through, and, you're trying to pick them up from the lowest point in their life. And if you can just give them a safe home for a night or 2 nights or 6 months or however long they're going to be in your home, why would you not do that?
One day in the sun for them is going to be worth, an entire lifetime of just not being taken care of. I mean, so far to this date, right now, all they know is not being loved, and they don't know anything else but this other life that they had to be pulled from. And so they're giving these kids to complete strangers. They don't know them, but, if you just put a little love in these kids, I mean, you'll get it back tenfold.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you'll never regret loving a child and never regret doing something for a child. And, as hard as it's been, so far, I don't regret it. I mean, we talked earlier, and I regret some things, and maybe we could have done some things differently throughout our journey, but at the end of the day, I don't regret taking these kids in.
It's our first placement.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been hard, and it's going to continue to be hard, but I think we don't know hard compared to what they've lived through. You know, we've both had very blessed lives, and we both had parents that loved us and took care of us and did whatever they had to do to put food on the table and a roof over our heads. And so if we could just share that with other children, you know, why not? And so we don't know what the future holds for us, and if we're going to have biological children, so why not share our love this way? So I asked on Facebook and Instagram a while back when I was just kind of trying to fill out what I was going to do with my channel. I asked you guys, you know, like, ask me some questions that you have about foster care. So I figured this first kind of like intro video into our new lives and into our new channel is going to be frequently asked questions. So we get a lot of questions. I mean, we get a lot of questions from people.
You're all the time getting questions and answers.
Yes,
and rack our brain a lot.
You know, I have a friend that I met in a forum, you know, a foster care forum that was kind of thinking about foster care, and I talked to her and told her everything I knew, and then now she's a foster parent, and we've built a really great relationship based on both just being foster parents. So,
and you got a really good social media presence, and you know, you're in a lot of groups on there too.
Yeah, and
parents that are,
there's a lot of support.
A lot of valuable information.
A lot of support.
Way better than there was probably 10, 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And you know, so if we can bring awareness and maybe answer some questions that you might be afraid to really ask somebody, and we're just going to be real with you guys. So, the number one question or comment that I get is why people don't want to be foster parents. I just couldn't do that. I'd get too attached.
Well, you're going to get too attached.
Like, and we are attached.
Yeah, it'll decimate us whenever these kids are removed or they're placed on somewhere else. It's going to absolutely kill us.
Mm-hmm. And that's the point. Mm-hmm. The point is that these kids have never been attached. So, you know, you want to attach to them. You want to show them a healthy relationship with a parent figure in their life. You want to show them a good relationship with a positive male role model, and
it's crucial they get that attachment.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard on you, but you're an adult, and you know, you just get over it. Like it's just the child needs that attachment. So to anyone that says, you know, I'd get too attached, well then you should probably be a foster parent, because that's what they need.
They need a positive male, female, male, female. They need positive role models because they've had none. Mm-hmm. Or they've had one that is long gone. Yes. They don't have one, and they're still holding on to one, and they don't have one presently, and that's how they get in the situation. So being attached is a thing. I mean, you want that attachment because that is crucial. If they don't trust you, if they're not attached to you, if there's no bond,
you got nothing.
You got nothing there. They're just there for the food and the shelter and the clothes and all that. But it's much more than that.
The bond that you will create with these children that you open your homes to is just, I mean, words can't explain it. You know, they trust you on a whole nother level, because not only are you providing them with food, clothing, and shelter, something that they may never have had before, you're giving them love. And I mean, for nothing in return. No. You know, when they're screaming at you because they've had so much trauma in their life that they don't know how to regulate themselves, but you're still trying to love them, they're going to see that.
Right.
And so I would just encourage anyone that thinks that maybe to really look into foster care, because you're what they need.
Right.
You know, our current placement, they've been with us a while now, and I get a question a lot that, will we adopt them? And with foster care, the short answer for everything is, I don't know.
It's all up in the air.
You literally don't know. If a child comes into your home to be in foster care, you are, for lack of a better words, a placeholder.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is return to parent. That's what the state, while the whole time you're taking care of your kids, these kids that they give you, you are feeding them, clothing them, all that. You're taking care of them, getting them enrolled in school, getting their teeth fixed, everything. The state is working to return them to parents. Somewhere, some family member,
biological family,
trying to get somebody that's blood related to this child to reunite the home, quote unquote.
And I mean, you know, there's been studies shown that, you know, a child being with biological family, there is great benefits to that if it's a healthy environment for the child. So when a child comes into care, ultimately the goal is return to parent. So you just do your best to support the reunification. And if it looks like the children aren't going to be reunified with family, either they can't find biological family that want the children,
no one's suitable.
No one's, capable, whether it be maybe the whole family's on drugs, maybe financially they can't, maybe they're just too old. I mean, there's a number of reasons why.
Yeah.
But you just support that. And so we are what they call a concurrent home, which means that if the situation arises with one of our placements and we feel like it would benefit everybody and everyone would, do well with it, we would adopt.
Right.
So I think the short answer for this is our current placements that we have now, if it got there, we would. Yeah, we would adopt them. But their current plan is return to parent. So we have to, as foster parents, support that.
Anytime they're in our home, and the whole time they're here, it don't matter if it's 2 months, a week, 6 months, 6 years, their ultimate goal is return to parent until they either terminate parent rights, they find the parents unfit, or something happens to where they are turned into adoptive cases.
Yeah. And so we have to, as hard as sometimes it might be, and people may not understand it, we just have to support that and support reunification for them, and if that's where the way it looks like it's heading. And as of right now, they are returned to parent now.
But if that's your thing and that's what you want to do, there are cases that are just strictly adoptive. There are certain cases, certain ages, certain things for certain people. Then they sort them. They say, hey, we have a group. We got a child that's adoptive. This is possible. They want to emancipate themselves from their family. They want to be adopted as soon as they can. If you like the kid, you get along with the kid, take the kid. Please, take the kid.
Yeah, and if a younger kid, if maybe like we said, there's no suitable family, then they'll be adoptable, and then you can go from there.
Yeah.
But currently, we are foster parents. We are foster parents with the option to adopt if that were to ever come about.
Right.
And we've been getting this question for a long time because we've been together 11 years. Will you have bio kids? Which it was, will you have kids?
Yeah.
And then now that we're foster parents, it's like, well, are you going to have your own kids?
Yeah.
And we don't know. I mean, we might, but, not that age really has much to do with it. But, I'm 31, Donald's 35, and it's just like, do we really want that? I don't know. I want to be a parent, but I don't know if I want to birth a child, which everyone that knows me knows that that's not really, I've never really thought that would be for me, okay?
Sure.
So if I can be a parent or a mother to a child that needs me in another way, why not just do this? And, I have PCOS and, what does that look like for infertility and trying to get pregnant? Like, do we even want to go down that road?
Well, you can be a parent.
Yeah, I mean,
you can already be a parent. It doesn't matter if it's a bio kid. I mean, it would be nice to have our own kids, but these kids are also our kids. So
right.
The four-legged kids are our kids.
Yeah,
are our kids.
We're already parents, so.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change how much you care for them. No. I promise. If your kids, someone else's kids, it doesn't matter. You care for them the same.
So I don't know. I mean, we may not, but as of right now, we're foster parents, and that's working out great for us. So, we've already kind of touched on this. How long will you have the kids? We don't know.
Question mark.
And I think what I want everyone to take away from this is in foster care, you don't know. You literally do not know. So if you like for your life to be planned out and you to know every little thing that's going to happen, don't foster.
You got to back off that a little bit.
Yeah, you have to be open, ready, and willing for pretty much everything, because they're going to call you in the middle of the night and say, we've got kids that need a place to stay. Can you come get them?
Or we found an uncle in Timbuktu and start getting them packed.
And I've heard stories from people in my foster groups that have had to pack their kids that have been with them for a year, had to pack them up in an hour because there's an uncle that is going to take them.
Yeah, he came out of somewhere and now they're taking the kids. I mean, it depends on the caseworker, I think, but I mean, our workers are great. I mean, we've got a good support system, I think.
So, I mean, they've been with us now for going on 7 months, and in the beginning, we were told that They would be with us for 4 to 6 months because there was a relative in another state that they had to do an ICPC, which we'll go into terminology and stuff in another video. But they basically had to see if that was a fit parent figure for the child.
Yeah, they do the background check and everything.
Yeah, they have to do a home
financial
study.
References, everything.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Way more. Yeah.
So basically, we were told that could take 4 to 6 months, depending on, everything. Well, here we are, and we're no closer to them going to that biological family. So we don't know. We
still
don't
no
know.
definitive answer.
We just kind of, do our thing and take care of the kids.
You got to take it one day at a time.
And that's that.
Yeah.
Let's see. How tired are you?
That's a good question.
Well, let me just say this. We both work full time, and there's not very many foster families where both parents work full time.
No, I think you're like one of the test group.
Yeah, like I asked my my caseworker and the therapist today, how many foster families there have both working parents? And they're like, like none, pretty much.
Yeah, none.
So it's so much different with foster kids than like bio kids. These kids have experienced so much trauma that there's so much more.
You got to pick up the pieces because the school is going to expect them to operate like a normal functioning kid. They don't really know or care that the kids you're taking care of have had a massive amount of trauma. Like if you have one that's 8 years old and doesn't know how to read. They don't care about that. They don't care about dyslexia. They're going to look at the age. They're going to look at that child's age and placement in school. And so, you have to work a full-time job. And then when you get off work or during your day during work, now, thanks to COVID, we are home all the time. We have to be workers, teachers, parents. I mean, there's just so many hats you have to wear.
All of the above.
Yeah, so many hats. I mean, and that's, I feel for parents right now. Parents right now are getting the shaft when it comes to everything. Schools, you're having to be the teacher. You're not getting paid to be the teacher, but you're being the teacher. When you're buried under NTI work and your kids are trying to draw a snowman, you don't know why they're drawing a snowman in the middle of COVID, but they're going to make that snowman and the school's going to grade you on it. I mean, that's just how it is. So, and they're going to take that like it's the gospel. They don't care. Like the school wants that snowman. They don't care if you're going to get fired from your job. Your boy needs a snowman today. And that's COVID and teaching and all the hats you have to wear. Well, let's just say this.
Donald did most of the NTI work. He actually burned up all his vacation time this year.
And the extra week I bought.
And yeah, he had 3 weeks, bought an extra week, and burned it up in March, April. So the beginning of the year, so he could do NTI work with our kids. So that right there tells you how burnt out we are, and mostly Donald. That's why he's just a little bit salty about NTI. But
I'm holding back some.
But I want to say that it's not geared towards the teachers because we love the teachers. We love their teachers.
Yeah.
It's just
it's a
frustrating time, and it's just as frustrating for the teachers, I'd say, because they're like, damn it, why can these parents not get this snowman drawn? It's not that hard.
I do it every day.
So, and everybody's frustrated because no one's left their house in months and everybody's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping and praying that basically NTI round 2, which starts in 2 weeks, will be better.
Well, the system wasn't designed for that. They never prepared for a pandemic. As funny as it is in 2020, the education system was not ready for a massive pandemic. And so they turned something that was used for a snow day, they turned that into their basis of education.
It's supposed to be just a placeholder.
And then you have, and that's, normal parents, probably bio parents, probably understand that. And they're like, oh, well, little Leland here, he knows what he's doing, so he can read, write, play the flute, do all kinds of stuff, so he gets a big summer vacation. That's fine. But when you have a foster kid that can't tie their shoes, read, know how to wipe their butt, it's just all the foster parents, I feel for everyone because they, especially because our placement came right before it, so we knew absolutely nothing about our kids. You have a child, you're taking care of them, you're their teacher, you're doing their work, you have to take these mystery kids that you only know about what their problems are, their pluses, their minuses. You have a piece of paper or a text message you're going off of, and you have to get these kids caught up with third graders, kindergartners, second graders. you're trying to do all this work with them. You don't know what they can do, what they can't do. And so you are just at your wit's end trying to do all this. And, you know, bio parents, I feel for you. That's great. You know your kids. You've had time to know your kids. You birthed them, you adopted them. You know, everybody that's had a family going into COVID probably had a better shot than we did coming into COVID, because we literally do nothing about them. Like, they were just like, here's some kids, have fun, bye. And they drove off, and here are our kids. And, I mean...
And the world came to an end.
It was like an extended sleepover. It was like somebody dropped their kids off and we're still taking care of them. And that's how this is. I mean, we're trying our best.
Foster care is an extended sleepover.
I mean, that's how it is, though. We're just taking care of them. We're doing the best we can, but it's hard. It's tough. You will not sleep.
So hard.
You will fall asleep a lot of times before you're done doing everything. Your body will just give up. But to see that kid look at a book and want to pick up that book or read, you know, is worth not sleeping. It's worth any kind of, you know, problems you develop, any kind of bone spurs or whatever, any kind of medical complications you get from this is worth it. End of rant.
So, short answer is we're very tired. We're very tired.
Tired, I'm skin covering coffee.
But we pretty much are doing it to ourselves, you know, because we're trying to work full-time still and take care of kids and just do it all.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you become a foster parent? There's a lot of training involved, and we can just speak on Kentucky where we are. You take so many credit hours, basically training hours, and we went into the classroom, watched videos, you know, had a trainer there that taught us all the things about trauma and how to discipline and what, you know, sexual abuse is gonna look like in your child, and, you know, what to look for, things that maybe you probably wouldn't know about or want to ever know about.
You're very naive.
Training was hard, and we always knew it was going to be a really hard class when they had a lot of good food for us. Like, I think pizza day was always like, oh.
Yeah.
And candy. Like, whenever they had candy out, whenever the candy basket was out, you knew you were in for a rough time.
You walked into candy, or they ordered Fazoli's or something, you knew sexual allegations were coming, or trauma, or something terrible was happening.
It was going to be a rough night if there was a lot of good food.
And if they were telling you, you know, there's Kleenexes in the bathroom.
Yeah, like, it was a lot of hard nights, I'd say. When we would go to training, after training, a lot of times we would go like to Target because we'd have to do something to cheer us up.
Retail therapy.
It was hard, and we questioned it often.
Yeah, we bought a whole bunch of crap we didn't need.
Yeah, like, is this really what we want to do? Like, are we going to be okay with this? And the answer is yeah, you are. You're going to be okay.
You go, yep.
Yeah, I mean... So there's a lot of training involved. We had to do background checks, fingerprints, CPR classes.
Certify anyone in your home.
Yeah, so like my mom lives with us, so she had to do background checks, fingerprints, and she actually had to go to a couple of the trainings with us. So she had to have some training. So you have to submit financial records. They have to know that you're financially sound and without the stipend, which is a laughable amount, but we'll get to that on another day. And
you're not going to make millions doing it.
No. If you think you're going to make money fostering, you ain't doing it right, and you're not in it for the right reasons.
No, you're not.
It's just short answer to that. So it takes a while to foster. You know, it takes about 6 months, I think, to get everything in and do your training.
You got your home inspection and all that. You got to make sure your home is completely safe. Everything is locked, double, triple, quadruple locked.
You got to make sure your liquor's locked up.
All your alcohol, all your medication.
All the even like Tylenol, it's got to be locked up.
All your chemicals, all your cleaning supplies, anything a kid could get into, plus any other problems. You got to make sure everything is locked up.
Yeah, so it's the home inspection, and you have, if I remember correctly, you have 2 home inspections, because Sarah came out one time to kind of look and see what all we needed.
And they tell you, like, hey, you need to fix this, you need to fix that. It's like when the health department comes to your restaurant. They give you your initial grade, they give you so many weeks to fix it, and they come and check you off, and then you can serve people. I
have a friend that they were almost not allowed to be foster parents because they had detergent on the ground instead of up on a shelf in a laundry room.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how strict it is, but then, you know, the parent, like, it's just funny.
And then you also had the friends that had a bottle of wine hanging up on the wall because it was like a ceremonial
bottle.
Yeah, but they were like, yeah, we don't know about that. And like, okay.
Yeah,
I'll
like
do it.
it's funny to me how to be a foster parent you have to go through all these trainings, but then to procreate you just, well, we all know what you do.
Or to get them back.
Yeah, or to get them back. I mean, whatever, but that's another day. So next question. There's only 2 more questions. Why did you become a foster parent? So I think we became foster parents because we saw the need.
Yeah.
I think that's our biggest thing. We always knew we wanted to be parents, and like we said earlier, we didn't know what that would look like for us for bio kids because you know, we have health issues and it's no secret, you know, infertility is a thing. And
a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, and we just stuff. It wasn't, biological kids wasn't in the future, and it may not ever be. So we thought, well, you know, we've got a lot to give, and we would be great parents, we think. And so we decided to do this. And my good friend Adam, him and his husband are foster parents, and they actually adopted their little girl. And he told me about it, and, you know, he sold it to us, I guess you could say. And so it's been a very rewarding thing for us, and I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fostering is kind of one of those things that people can sweep up under the rug. Like, they don't have to pay attention to it. So a lot of it doesn't get talked about. Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of those things people just instantly turn off. Like, oh, foster kids, turn off. So there's not a whole lot that people really know about it. So we came into it, we were totally naive, we were totally green, we didn't know anything about it. They don't have you've got to go search and get your information a lot of times because it's very hush-hush for some reason. I don't understand why, people talk about sex trafficking more in 2020 than they do about fostering kids. And it's just really strange.
Which, shocker, most of your children that are trafficked are foster children.
Well, they're unwanted kids or neglected kids from foster families.
It's easy to sex traffic a child that's in foster care. It's just, I mean, that's literally, we had a whole class on sex trafficking and foster care.
There was candy out for that too.
Yeah. So just know, that's another story too for another day. But it just, there needs to be more awareness about it. So we thought, let's do this. And then now we think we know a lot. We don't know everything, but we've learned a lot in our, 7 months as foster parents. So let's just spread our wealth and knowledge and hope that maybe someone else might want to be a foster parent after watching our videos on our channel.
You're never too old to learn.
No.
Ever. And,
the last question is, how has our life changed?
Everything.
I mean, literally everything. I think this is the funniest story I've remembered or said about being a foster parent is Mom was at Jeff's, my brother's, for the weekend or whatever, and me and Donald were just hanging out. The kids were already in bed. It was like 10 o'clock at night on like a Saturday. It was a wild Saturday night. And then we were like, ooh, we want ice cream. Like, we got real wild and wanted some ice cream.
Like, ooh, we could go to Sonic right now and get a blast or something.
I was like, oh yeah, I want a cookie dough blast, and that'll be really good because we try to eat as good as we can, and so every once in a while you gotta get that sugar.
Like, let's go, come on, let's get in the car and go. And like we would do any other night.
Yeah, and so we were in our PJs, and Donald changed, and he was like, well, you want me to go get it? I was like, well, I'll ride with you, I'm just ride with you. And so I started getting dressed and putting clothes on, because it's in my PJs, and we both just kind of stopped. It's like, wait, we both can't go.
No.
We can't go. Like, we both can't go. We've got 2 children asleep.
Yeah, there's 2 kids in the bed in our house. We didn't have a few months ago.
This was what?
This was fairly recent into the thing.
May, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, the months are all running together now with COVID.
Thanks, COVID.
But, I mean, we were quarantining, and we really wanted us some ice cream. And, we tried, and I was like, well, crap.
We both can't go.
We both can't go.
Not without waking them up, and you don't want to once you put them to bed.
No, you ain't waking them up to take them out at 10 o'clock at night for ice cream. You just, no.
Just don't.
No.
Thou shalt.
No. And so it's just funny how life has changed because it's just been us for so long, and my mom, which, whatever. But it's just been us for so long that we're used to just picking up and going. It
literally changes your thought process and how you do things. To where if you were normally like fancy free, pick up and go, you got to be like, oh, well, our kids have to.
We have kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, like, we've been very sporadic in our relationship, and, you know, we've just picked up and gone places the day before, and it's just like, wait, do the kids have therapy? Do the kids have occupational therapy? Do the kids have speech therapy? Do the kids have a doctor's appointment? Do we have a meeting with the caseworker?
Is there a pack of NTI work sitting there waiting on us?
He's really stuck on the NTI, okay?
Sore spot.
So it's just, your life will change tremendously. Now, if you already have kids, it might not change as much. You probably already wouldn't go in the middle of the night to get a sonic blast. Or your kids may be in foster care because of that. I don't know.
We won't judge you for it.
No judgment here. I'm just saying what we did and what we realized was like, oh, crap. So I proceeded to put my nightgown back on. And Donald went and got our ice cream. It was still just as good. It was just, you know, during the quarantine, you'll want to get out and go for a drive.
That would have changed anything, like in your midnight Walmart run, your surprise trip to the Bahamas. You're like, oh, we have kids.
Yeah. It's
go to Vegas. Oh, we got kids.
Yeah, I mean, you have to plan differently, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's hard. I guess when you have a child, you birth a child, like, you know, you have 9 months to prepare for that. You know it's coming. You grow with the child grows with you. And when, you know, you're fancy free, like you said, for 11 years, and then boom, you've got 2 kids asleep in their beds at 10 o'clock at night. You can't go anywhere.
Well, it also changes how you do things too. Like when you're out shopping. You know, you're not just shopping for yourself or me or your mom. It's like, oh, we got to look at the kids' clothes. Oh, I mean, I don't shop for myself anymore at all now. I can't tell you the last time I bought myself something. It all goes to the kids, and it's just a different life, and it's a good life. There's nothing wrong with it. It just, if you're selfish, and which is fine. If you want your time and you want your life, don't do it. No, it's definitely going to take away from number one. You get a new number one.
You can't be number one when you're a foster parent. No. Or a parent in general, I think.
I think it's
parenting. That's just parenting 101. Is the kid's number one, and that's just how it's got to be, which is totally fine, but it's different than...
Part of the reason they get into it, I think.
Yeah.
Part of the reason they get into
it's funny because we always said, like, we have dogs, you know, and we like having dogs instead of humans because you can just leave the dogs at home and it's not a big deal, you know, they can stay here for the day while you go out. But now it's like, oh crap, we can't just let the kids
now we're gonna make it a whole thing.
Yeah, it's gotta be a whole thing.
Affair.
And those of you who have kids know, if you have to go out and take kids anywhere, well, it's gonna take you at least an hour to get them ready.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if they were already ready, they got to put their shoes on, and they're going to put on winter boots in the middle of summer.
Yep, with shorts.
And with shorts on, that you've told them 100 times, these are not summer shoes, but they're going to do it. Yep. They're still going to do it.
And then they're going to miss one of the boots.
And then one's going to be missing, and then, you know, oh, I have to pee.
Or my pants are on backwards.
But then, and then they'll spill something on themselves, and so it's just the whole thing.
You can't just pick up and go.
So there's no more picking up and going. It's just not a thing that happens. If it happens, it's one of us goes.
Yeah.
That's it. And so Donald usually, during the quarantine, he did pretty much all of our running. You just can't pick up and go with children.
Nope.
It's just not going to happen. So now, you know, hopefully we've given you a little bit of an insight to foster care and what all it entails. It's very minimal information, a tiny little bit of information. But, you know, we're here to answer any questions that anybody has and to support people as much as we can. And that's what we hope to accomplish with this channel, is just bringing awareness to foster care and what that's done for our lives and for our kids' lives. But we want you to know about the process as a whole, not just the kids that we have in our home right now. And if they are with us forever, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for right now, we are just foster parents. Just foster parents. Just foster parents, as a lot of people say. And we just wanted to let y'all know just a little bit about that and what's changed in our lives for the past 6 months. And hopefully we didn't bore you to tears.
Yeah.
If so, I do apologize. I guess I'll have to post more LOL lingerie videos.
Probably should.
You know, because apparently people like that.
Fire.
Yeah, it's hot right now, you know, the hot thing. But I guess we're going to wrap up for the night. And I just would like to say thank you to everybody who stuck through this video and watched it. And if you have any more questions, just leave them down below and we'll probably make another one of these, I'm sure, because there's a lot more questions people asked.
That's a lot of stuff.
So thank you for watching our channel called An Extra Seat at the Table. Bye.
Bye.